Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a bit more of the Forge of Fiesta. Basically the challenge run here, where we try to complete stuff on the hardest settings possible in the game while playing the Forge of Fiesta restrictions. Well then, without any further ado, let's just keep going. Let me set some settings real quick. No global hotkeys for that thing, otherwise that might be a bit difficult. And we go. And greetings, Holy Lilith. How are you doing? And also greetings to you, Ether Hunter. The class has changed? Well, this is now just a regular Forge of Fiesta Ether Hunter. This is no longer the speedrun opening race that took part yesterday. And here we are, just kind of playing this game casually, without anything more special. This is not a speedrun, this is just kind of slowly strolling through the game. So yeah, there's that. Greetings to you, Holy Lilith, and greetings to you, Ether Hunter. I hope you guys are doing well. So, currently we do not have access to our fourth job, first job technically, which is the Ranger, and we would gain access to three of the five fire crystals after we defeat the next boss. For the next boss, I will want to level up just a little bit more, so we have a better chance to survive it. More specifically, I'm going to be leveling up to level 19 before I'm going to approach him again. Just so we have another strength multiplier on our characters. On top of that, Happy Squid actually reminded me of something that I forgot, which was actually kind of really silly to forget. Because that is actually something I did in the run as well. And that is going to go and buy some Kenpo Gs from walls. Kenpo Gs gives you +1 strength, and in short that kind of means in order for me to reach the next multiplier to deal more damage with the weapons is one level lower. So that is just a little better. Am I running all Berserkers? Yes, currently I am, because, well, I don't have access to the Ranger, so I'm kind of bound to only use Berserkers currently. Also, SNES version, with fan translation patch, you cannot run away from encounters if all of your party members are Berserkers. I do want the experience, but those encounters in here are kind of inefficient. So I'm just going to slowly walk my way back outside. I mean, I didn't choose the Berserker, they got assigned. To be fair, I took the Berserkerrisk, so that was kind of somewhat expected. And here we are. I mean, I've done the Berserker thing before, so just need a bit of patience. Ooh, Flash, that's really bad for us. Because as you might be able to tell, everyone gets blinded, and that means they have significantly lower chance to hit. I actually don't know the exact chance to hit when someone is blinded. I could look that up while we are grinding, might as well. Ferris also still has the headgear equipped that, not the accessory equipped that allows her to not get blinded, which is really good. Let me actually look up blind. Blind status equals... okay, our hit chance is quartered, as in divide by 4. So that means from 100% chance to hit with the daggers normally, it's 25% chance to hit. Not as terrible as I thought it was. I thought it was like 10% to hit. but it's still really low. And you don't necessarily want to deal with that, which is also why I'm not grinding inside the ship right now. I'm going to go outside. Oh, of course, also I want to go ahead and buy the Kenpo Gs. We are currently level 15, I think? No, 16. So we just need 3 more levels, and we kind of will get them more or less along the way, so it will be fine. You just need a little bit of patience for this. The nice thing is, it doesn't matter whether the wolves are in back row or front row, we will always one-shot them. Unless they are in the back row and we get back attacked, so our berserkers are in the back row too. So that's that. Hey Uticharya, or Utikarya. Feel free to correct me on how to pronounce that. How are you doing? So yeah, we're just backtracking to the previous city to buy the +1 strength suits, because they will come in handy. Also, if I do not get a shop that is usable on the next crystal, which is the fire crystal just after the next boss, I will have to go berserkers through the library, and then finally I will have access to the ranger. So that means it might take a little bit longer than I hoped it would be. This used to be a white mage only stream. Hey Shiva, thank you for the host. How are you doing? And yeah, only one white mage stream. That was a while ago. You're good, just got a burger now watching the stream. It's weather kills you. 34 degrees Celsius right now. That is a lot, holy smokes. Oh. Enjoy your burger and hope you don't melt. You sprain your wrist. All sorts of fun. Yeah, that doesn't sound like fun. Hope you get better on both ends soon, Shiva. And greetings to you, Kinjiro. How are you doing? Do you have a support for your arm, Shiva? That might be a good idea to wear when you go to sleep. You tired, sleepy as hell. I see. Well then, I hope you can find some rest soon. And thank you for the good luck, Bregan. Greetings to you as well. How are you doing? Good morning, good evening, good night to you, I think. You would think I would know where to go through and which screens, now that I've done 2 rounds of this. But nope, no chance. I just kind of sort of know where to go. So, and this is where you can buy the Kenpo Gs. Kenpo G is the Game Boy Advance version name. I don't know what they are called. They are called training suits. Let's buy 4 of them. Training suits give you plus 1 to strength, and as mentioned before, that will allow us to go to level 19 instead of 20 in order for us to gain an additional attack multiplier. And defense on the bosses is not going to matter too much, but it's going to be very handy for grinding, so we take less damage there, and dealing a little bit less damage on those encounters is not going to matter. Alrighty, take care Shiba, and rest well. Thank you also to you for dropping by. Have a good sleep. All those Final Fantasy progression system backs you into Final Fantasy Tactics. Yeah, apparently that has a very similar thing to it. People also try to do 4-chop Fiestas on that, which, from what I've heard, it works. But I just don't know really anything about Tactics, so I didn't look much more into it. Tactics games, to me, are just kind of... I sort of like them, but not enough to actually play them. It's not entirely true. I like specific tactics games like... What was that thing called? I would need to look it up on my Steam library what it's called. But there's a tactics type game that I like quite a bit actually. You drove 400 kilometers today? That's a lot. Wow. Let's see. That's nighttime for you. I hope you find some good rest. Nighttime for everybody except me, I guess. Oh. Let me see my library real quick. That sounded weird. Shadowrun. That was the game that I was thinking of. Kind of tactics-y, but more like XCOM rather than anything else. Okay, we are level 17, just 2 more levels. This will take a while though. So just lean back, relax, and grab a tea or a cup of... No, don't get coffee, because you need to sleep. Tactics games force you to spend a lot of time during battles. Yes, actually that's one of the reasons why I don't enjoy them that much, generally speaking. And why I do like Shadowrun. By the way, the new version of Shadowrun for the PC. Because essentially the battles are much shorter because you only have 1 or 2 units to control. Or maybe even more, I don't know. It's not many units to control. Tactics games you just have an entire roster of characters. Which also makes it kind of interesting, but to me it drags on every single battle so long. You hate the limited movement? I see. So is this the normal game, or is this the kind of mod? With this chaos thingy. This is the normal game, well, with a English fan translation. Because the original did not have a fan translation. The English didn't... Let's try this again. The English Super Nintendo version was only released in Japan. That way around. So this is kind of a mod, but the mod is... just the translation. The chaos is essentially a thing about the 4-chop Fiesta, how it decides which chops you get. There are 3 different... well, there are a few different modes actually. For example, there is the normal run, where you get a wind crystal chop at the wind crystal, you get a water crystal chop at the water crystal, you get a fire crystal chop at the fire crystal, and you get a earth crystal chop at the earth crystal. Then there is random, where you can basically get any job on the individual crystals, but it usually will make sure that you can actually use the jobs. I think that's how random works. Chaos doesn't care whether you can use the jobs already or not, it will just assign you any of the jobs that is available in the game. Although there is one restriction, it will not give you a freelancer or a mime, I believe. For that, there is the mode for pure chaos. And greetings to you, Barney. Thank you. I hope you're doing well, sir. The only tactics like games where the movement doesn't drive me nuts is Heroes of Might and Magic 4 and below. Be a favorite, of course. I see, nice. Yeah, it took me a while to start to appreciate Heroes of Might and Magic 4. As in, I played Heroes of Might and Magic 3 a lot. And then I got 4, which just didn't look nearly as good. And the heroes fighting by themselves, that kind of put me off for a little while. Although, after a bit of time, I actually started to appreciate the entire heroes level up themselves, become actually decently strong, and can basically eventually take on entire armors by themselves. So I started to like that after a while. Especially in campaigns where your heroes just become stronger and stronger and stronger. Where I would just build up some heroes and take them to the next campaign and just waltz through the enemies. Without even building up an army myself. That was kind of neat. Ding. Much more experience do we need for leveling up? About 1,000. And then it's about 3,000 more, I think. So this will take about 10 more battles to reach the next level, and then probably another 20 to 30. Yeah. We're here for about another half hour or so. Sorry if you're simply, but how to decide which game is suited for speedrunning? It kind of depends on whether... what do you mean exactly with that right now? If you're asking about the run, that was basically decided by votes, whatever jobs people wanted to see. But if you are deciding for the speedrun itself, as in with any character classes available, basically you just go by trying to figure out which one is the most useful, what is the least time invested in order to be able to essentially kill the enemies as quick as possible. And you also need to level the least amount of time and etc. So that is just kind of what the speedrun is concerned with. You want to invest as little time as possible to gain as much as possible overall. So for example, Blue Mage can do a lot just by being really low level and doing some trickery. White Mage is basically the job you just switch to in order to briefly heal your party and characters instead of having to invest any more money, and then you switch them back to their previous jobs in order to do other things, really. And for the most part you don't even care much about equipment, because as long as you have the correct strategies and tactics, you don't need to worry about that at all. Oh! Sorry, I was thinking you were talking about the chops. Sorry, sorry. I actually misunderstood the question. You are talking which game is suited for speedrunning. It's just personal preference, really. If you really like a game, you can just try to, well, play it more by playing it casually again and again, or if you're like me, you kind of would like to have a reason to play a game again, and speedrunning is a really good reason to play a game again. And eventually, if you just start running a game, or any game for that matter, you'll figure out what kind of preferences you will personally have in order to figure out which game you'd like to speedrun. It's really just a process of trial and error until you find the games that you like. But in general, you can speedrun anything, really, if you want to. You can speedrun something silly like a card game, really, if you want to. But whether that suits you or not, that's a different topic entirely. Because card games usually have a ton of randomness and just a huge luck factor to it, or even roguelikes, and the like can be speedrun, but once again, huge game of chance, essentially, in the end. So glitches and holes in mechanics include in terms of choice. Yes, for some people it does. Actually, I would say yes, for some people it does, because some people, they like the glitches and holes in mechanics and stuff you can abuse in games. For me, for example, I kind of like those weird exploration possibilities. So it's a choice for me, yes. So if it does have something interesting that I seem to like, might as well go for it. On the other end of the spectrum, there are people who don't like those kinds of things, so they would choose a game that does not have those kinds of mechanics you can abuse, which is, well, just perfectly reasonable as well. And greetings to you, Miles. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Hope you're doing well. So yeah, sorry Kenjiro, initially I misunderstood your question. Okay, let's see. Okay. It's about 25 more battles and then we are through. I'm going to go in here briefly to stock up on potions and buy a bunch more tents. Actually, I'm not going to buy that many more tents. Oh, I have maximum amount of potions anyways. I guess some antidotes, some more eye drops, Maiden's Kisses, Lucky Mallet, a few softs I guess, 10 Phoenix Stones, and a few tins. Alrighty. So there's that. I actually need to get up real quick afterwards, once I start the next battle, and grab myself some water. No problem, Genjiro. If you have any silly or weird questions that you feel like are stupid, just ask. Don't worry about it. I'm going to try and answer them as good as I can. As long as I see them, because I'm sometimes a bit terrible at paying attention to chat. I apologize for that. But if I just miss your question in chat, feel free to ask again and just, well, maybe add my name to it so it gets highlighted for me to chat. Okay, give me a second. almost back. Okay, so maybe I can talk a little bit now about what I was mentioning earlier about the agility bug, because I looked into that a little bit now. So there's actually a formula as to the knives do gain some additional attack power based on your agility, but it's not the more agility you have, the more stronger they are. That's not how they work at all, really. It's a bit of a really strange calculation based on your level and agility, and certain amounts of agility result in you having more damage, and certain amounts of agility result in you having less damage. Like +1 agility can mean your value doesn't change at all, which it doesn't change most of the time, getting 1 more agility or not. But it can both mean both that you lose an attack modifier by gaining agility, or you gain one. So I actually plugged that formula into my spreadsheet, and now, oopsie, I did not mean to do that. Now I can actually see as to whether I do gain a bonus from agility or not. Did I pass Liquid Flame yet? No, I just went back outside to start grinding. I'm going to go for level 19, because I just also went back to go and get a training suit. The training suit gives me +1 strength and also allows me to reach an additional attack modifier compared to before, as in just 1 more compared to what I already have now. Except for Lena, she doesn't get 1 because she has too low base strength. Oh, let's actually go inside. So in the ship there are still random encounters, and we have to fight them in order to get to Liquid Flame. Once again, we cannot run from combat. So we are kind of bound to fight everything, pretty much, that we face. But that's not the worst thing. We will just get some experience along the way. In fact, I just kind of hope to gain level 19 as we walk through the ship here. That's the idea. You guys don't like that guy. Huh. Okay, I think this guy can now, in the second turn, potentially use Flash, and that blinds everybody except Ferris. It's really annoying because I have to remove the blind. Oh well, that's okay. I should have actually checked how much experience those guys gave. 1400, alrighty. We probably will not quite get it by the time we reach the save point, so might as well go to the side areas and grab some items while we're at it. Murder soon, 3 attacks, that's pretty awesome. Yeah, Berserkers do pack quite a punch. If they hit the correct target. So there's a cabin. It's basically a tent, but better. Instead of filling up a limited amount of HP and MP, it fills up everything. You really don't like the guy in the bottom left. That guy didn't flash, this guy slipped. Okay, we're fine. I believe those crew dust guys cannot use flash in the first turn, which is really nice, otherwise we would be a bit more in trouble here. Oops, wrong way. I haven't gotten an encounter in a while now. I'm basically almost back to Liquid Flame now without an encounter. That's kind of silly. So we're just going to walk in circles here until we get enough encounters to level up. I think that's actually a really good encounter here. The enemies die really quick to regular attacks, and the chance for us getting blinded is relatively low. Yeah. Also, there are no annoying red weird snakes in there that can summon additional enemies. It's only 98 experience though. But it's a quick encounter, so that's okay. Pong! Pong also introduces the slip status, so... Oh, it doesn't? Well, color me surprised. Oh wow, it actually looks like we will always guaranteed defeat that encounter in one turn of combat. That's pretty nice. Is that always the same encounter in here? Let me actually look up Rudas. Where are we here? Okay, no, there's another enemy set here too. Unfortunately now we are in the back row. Yes, kill that guy first. Good job guys, yeah. If they were to kill that guy last, well... he would summon 2 more enemies. Which would be rather irritating, since I don't think they give more experience. I'm actually not sure, let's see. 71 experience for this encounter, not a whole lot. Once again, normally it should be pretty quick. Preemptive attack, they might actually kill them before the enemies get to attack at all. So, this was the bad case scenario where our cactus attacked the guy in the back row first, so they dealt half the damage. But 4 attacks are still enough to guarantee to kill them. That's pretty awesome. So let's see. Kill the poltergeist first this time, guys. She tried. I did not even know you could miss them. Alrighty. Now we get more traps. Let's see whether they give more experience than before. Wow, they just stopped our characters. That's not nice. But next turn they are guaranteed dead anyways, because he can only maximum stop 1 more character. The other one's going to kill him. Let's see. That is actually more experience. Never mind then. It's not a whole lot more, but it's more. So it's not all that bad getting the additional enemies. But it would still be faster if they defeated the defeater first. Nice, good job, Lena. You haven't played a whole lot of attention. Whole lot of 5. Yeah, I haven't played a whole lot of 5. Sorry. There we go. Okay, now I read it correctly. Does Berserker give any cool stat bonuses for the freelancer or any cool abilities for the freelancer can use? The stat bonus for the freelancer is basically the highest strength value you can get, I believe. So Berserkers give a bunch of strength to the freelancer. So that's pretty neat overall. Other than that, ability-wise, you could use Berserk. Equip Axe is pointless for a freelancer because they can literally equip everything anyways. So that's that. 539. Okay, about 4 more battles and there we go. So yeah, Berserk, basically the freelancer acts like a Berserker, more or less. Not quite. It's actually slightly different from a Berserker, but it's basically Berserker. The one advantage for using Berserk is that you cannot get confused. That's it, there's not really any other advantage to that. I don't exactly know how it all interacts with the freelancer, to be honest. I'm not sure, let's say, leveling a Berserker and a Knight gives you more of a strength bonus, or it just uses the strongest strength bonus that you can gain. As in, I honestly have never used a freelancer class at all. So one more battle and then I'm going to use a tent in the next room where there's a save point. And then we go on. We are not quite at the next level yet, but we will face at least 1, maybe 2 more battles on the way to Liquid Flame anyways, every time we try to do an attempt. And that will pretty much guarantee level us up. Okay. Tent. I tried to max out Freelancer stats last time I played. I tried to max out Freelancer... Oh, I didn't have the patience to max out a few classes. I see, yeah. I don't blame you for that. I do not blame you for that. I would not have the patience to max them out either way. That's just me. Oh boy. The chance for them not killing the crew dust before all the 3 defeaters is really low. Because they would need to attack the defeater in the back row twice before the crew dust, so it's a total of 4 attacks that the defeaters need to take before they would need to hit the crew dust. I'm doing to you, Nizam. It's going quite well. How are you doing? I think this combat here should level us up though. Oh, that's a plus. Paris, Lena, Galuf and Moth. All of them gain a level. We even gain a speed potion. Not sure what use that will have, but that's alright. And I'm just going to go straight for the boss. Because it's very likely at this distance that I would have gotten into another combat. Alrighty. I'm going to equip the bloom hat and the training suits. And everybody. To maximize our chances of actually surviving what liquid flame throws at us. Of course, I will also want to max out our HP. Very important. And let's go. I want to continue yours. How long have you leveled? I have leveled now for about another 20 to 25 minutes. And I reached level 19, so I think this should be sufficient for the most part. For the next section, I will likely level up to 21 if we don't get an appropriate job. Okay, liquid flame. 272 damage. Hand form, that's a good one to start. Tornado, yes, that's what we want to see. We just want to see tornado. Let them okay with, and hand form again, that's really good. Just don't hit Galuf. Don't hit Galuf with fire too. Fingertips, oh, on my strongest character, that's less than ideal. Nice, okay. And tornado again, very, very good. Hit it, don't miss now. Fingers please. Ah, okay, human form, I think that might kill Galuf. Well, it's not going to guaranteed kill Galuf. I hope Galuf attacks first. Nope, unfortunately not. Bye bye Galuf, thank you for your services. And now please hit Moth. Okay, that's good. He can no longer use fire too, and now we hope we avoid... Oh god, no. That was really unfortunate. Oh, Lena's alive. Never mind. That was really unfortunate because he decided to cast Flame just as an attack. And that just does so much damage. 25% of our maximum HP in damage. So it basically just straight up kills us after 4 spell casts. Although Lena survived actually 4 of them with 1 HP due to rounding errors. If you're as lucky as Happy's good, you'll get another Berserker. Yeah, I guess so. He did start with a Ranger too at the beginning as well, so we'll see what we get. Is there something like the Blood Sword in Final Fantasy V? Yes, there's a Drain Sword. I assume that's a Blood Sword type thing. I actually don't know what a Blood Sword is, but I just kind of assumed it drains HP from enemies and gives it to you. There is a Drain Sword in World 2 that you can get, but it's a night-only weapon. Well, also freelancer. The thing is, Super Red Jack, if you know basically from the get-go what you're getting into with the Berserkers, it's not nearly as frustrating when you go and attempt it, compared to when you have no idea and just cannot keep trying and keep failing because Berserkers. Okay. I think one of them did not gain a level. Yeah, Galuf didn't get a level. We need one more fight here. Okay, kill the defeaters first, guys. The red snake thingies, not the ghosties. Although killing the ghosties wouldn't be a terrible idea either. Good. Very good. Now the other red snake, guys. Not that. There we go. Very good. Otherwise they're going to sound more stings. Even if this guy is now going to use flash, we are fine with that. With 2 times yellow dragons or 1 red dragon. Yes, indeed. once again. We equip the plumed hat for more magic defense, training suits for +1 strength to maximize our damage, and also survivability against magical damage. Oh, also on top of that, we do gain a little bit of speed because the training suits and plumed hats are slightly less heavy. Oh god, really? That is super unlucky if he immediately opens up with flame. So we have only 50% HP already. Okay, hand form is fine. Just hit the same guy 3 times or so. I think Lena is one of the better targets for us. Just purely because... Hand form, please. Good. Just purely because she has the weakest offense. She would need 1 more level to reach the same multipliers. Okay, hit Lena. Okay. Tornado form, really good. Hand form? No. He's going to kill Lena and Gallop for free now. At least it was Gallop that attacked, so we have 1 more. So he will kill either Ferris and or Moth here. Alrighty, Ferris, it's all on you. We need to get stupid lucky now, because Ferris needs to switch it between the hand form and tornado form, back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Oh, that's 1 lucky draw already. Tornado form? Nope. Alrighty, we basically lose here. Goodbye. It's actually interesting. If I had more defense, my characters would be able to survive the physical hits without taking any damage. But that might be something worthwhile to consider. Did the Berserker deal double damage in this number of the game? They deal 50% more damage in this game if a character is Berserked. I believe it's 50%. I can actually look that up for you. Actually, here's how it works. Your attack is multiplied by 3 and divided by 2. So it's actually, yeah, 50% stronger. I was correct. So it deals 50% more damage. Let's see, Gallop. Oh, only Ferris gained the level. Huh. So I think maybe I want to keep the heavy armor instead. At least against Liquid Flame's physical attacks we would have a better defense. Oh, did you gain a level 2? No, Gallop, why are you not leveled yet? Hey Chaz, good night to you. How are you doing? It looks like you just need 1 or 2 more levels to survive the attacks. Surviving the attacks is not going to be that easy because the flame he deals to all characters is percentage based. It's always 25% of our max HP. So in order to survive a fire attack or additional fire attack, we would need to level about 10 levels or so. Maybe not quite 10, but 6 or 7. Either way, it's a lot more levels that we would need to gain. So actually in this case, this time I am going to keep the heavy armor on everybody. Just to see whether this is going to work out better for us. We will deal slightly less damage, but that might not even matter, since we just need to survive long enough. Doing pretty good. 5th day of work is over, and now 2 days to relax. Hey, that sounds nice. This week was nuts. Oh, I hope in a good way. So yeah, welcome home, Jess, and I hope you can relax now. Okay, hand form, good. We went now tornado form. Very good. Now we would like to have the hand form again. Very, very good. Hit Gallop or Moth. Oh, Lena's dead already. That's okay though. I'd rather have him hit the same target twice, actually, now I think about it. The tornado form will always heal itself up to 6 times. The hand form can attack us with fire up to 3 times. No, not the human form. Okay, hand form for the last time. Hit Gallop. Moth is fine too. Alrighty, very good, we want the tornado form. Hit it, Ferris. Ah, it healed itself before she hit. That's okay. Hand form again, because it's out of magic. That's the wrong hand form. Okay, at least Moth was the one attacking, so Gallop will get a turn immediately after. On the downside, Ferris will be too slow to hit it before it heals itself again. So, now we need to switch up between hand form and tornado form a few times, please. Very good. Go, Gallop. Oh, nice! We got it! We get a fire rod for our troubles. It would have been perfect to kill it in... Oh, that's loud. It would have been perfect if we killed it in the tornado form, because that would have resulted in a flame bow drop. The hand form results in a fire rod drop, and the human form results in a fire scroll drop. So fire rod is still more valuable than the fire scroll. GG! Thank you. Lots of Chaos Way, oh. Uncontrollable characters are really pain. Yeah, I cannot. Holy smoke ether. Four jobs? That sounds pretty insane. You must be crazy strong to survive that, honestly. My props to you, sir. And I hope you get some time to rest sometime. How can you control what form it is when you kill it? Well, if you attack it, it switches forms. So if you actually have control over your characters, you can just only deal the final damage by hitting it in the correct form, essentially. Although most of the time you're just happy you kill it. So it's really not that big of a deal. The firebow would be kind of a big deal if we already had a shop that could actually use the bow. But we don't have a shop that can use the bow either way until after the next boss section, where we can buy weapons for the flame bow anyways, so it doesn't matter either way actually. Unless you were to use a freelancer job class. That would be the one exception. His name is Werewolf? Yeah, kind of. You never did get very far in this game. Oh. We have to hurry. Everything will explode. So, now we have 10 minutes to get out. The nice thing is, I think it actually helps you automatically run instead of just walk. Kind of as if you had a thief in your party, which is really nice. Stop it. I only wanted to do that once. So, we briefly go here and save. Okay, we are just going to grab a few chests along the way. There are a lot of chests that are guarded by enemies. Most of them contain elixirs. There is one chest over here, I think, that contains a ribbon. And we don't know whether we are going to get a dancer or not. So in case we do get a dancer, I would like to get the ribbon, because that thing is insanely good. As in, the ribbon item to equip is the best item in the best headgear in the game by a long amount. Toad, that's really not nice. I get some ether drops, that's nice. Alright, here was the ribbon. We need to remove the toad status, otherwise Ferris is not going to deal a whole lot of damage. So we got the ribbon. That's one of the items I want to pick up. Oh no, the sergeant. There are random battles in the escape. Often you don't encounter many of them. Sometimes you don't encounter any random battles, but if we get one that early, it's kind of likely we get another one. So it will take a while. Ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. So we go on the right side here first, and the reason for that is pretty simple. There is a guardian dagger that I want to get, or also called Magos in the Game Boy version. That is a dagger that deals a good chunk more damage than the daggers we have. On top of that, 1 in 4 times it will actually block an incoming attack, so it's really, really good for that. You want that frog emote? It's a global emote, you can actually just use it. Or that frog here, the little one. Okay, here we get the Guardian Dagger. So you are going to equip the Guardian Dagger. We unfrog you. A Maiden's Kiss. Because how else would you get rid of a frog status? Heal up. Okay. And we have an appointment with one more item on the other side of the tower, or other side of the castle. That item is going to be a elf cape. We already have one elf cape, but it's just really good. So we want to get another one. Not again! Hey Silver Fox Flame, how are you doing? You will need no other emotes. Haha, nice. And greetings, good evening to you, guy. And I do indeed, I hope so do you. How are you doing? Also, by the way, as you may be able to see, Ferris is going to deal a good chunk more damage than anybody else in my party currently. Well, maybe I'm not going to be able to see because the numbers disappear under the thing. Wow, they really don't like the wizard this time. I don't mind them killing him first, that way they're going to get rocked. 513 damage, that's a lot. The others just deal about 300. Wow. And we get another elf cape. We equipped that on... Oh, apparently Galuf already has one. Ah. Alright, you get the glasses then. No, not again. 3 is actually a lot getting those encounters. To be fair, we still have plenty of time. Squid Rump caught on. It did. Monk Time Mage Bard so far. The game is giving me a nice easy mode to run. That sounds pretty nice actually. Time Mage and Bard are crazy powerful once they get their stuff. And Monk. Actually, Monk heavily benefits from having a Bard in the party once you have the level up song. That will be really, really, really good. That's awesome. So, Chas, what character slash monster do you think would be a good representation of this run? A character and monster. Of this run here, this one specifically, or the run, the opening race that we did earlier? So, we also get this chest over here. This contains a spell that is called Heal in the fan translation. It basically removes almost all negative status effects. It's a white mage spell, so we would not be able to use it outside of a white mage. But it's still possible that we get a white mage for our party, so we'll see. So I figured I might as well get that. But I get both the ribbon and the heal spell there, just in case. The run, or that, whatever you will know more of. Let's put it this way, Ferris is my favorite character of the entire game, but, or Moth in this case, is this guy down here. This is Ferris. I just really, really like Ferris as a character, so if any character you would want to draw Ferris, I guess. And monster slash enemy or job for that matter. I really like Dragoon. So a Dragoon job for the character here would be interesting. Wow, we just killed that guy before he even transformed. Nice. Okay. I need to tweet that I will receive the next job. Monster, I think Gilgamesh is a good representation. You know Gilgamesh? Gilgamesh would definitely be one of the better ones, to say the least. Let's see. Alrighty, what job do we get today? You'll stick with Dragoon Ferris and see what goes. Nice. Geomancer. Ninja. Did I miss the first one? I missed the first one. Alrighty, we now have the the fire crystal unlocked. But I don't know whether I'm going to get anything new now. So there was a geomancer. I believe there was... Mystic Knight was one of them as well, and Ninja. So those are the new jobs. Which one will we get? I don't know. Why does Galaf have more Berserker points than the others? Oh, that's because Moth and Lena died during the Liquid Flame fight. Okay. We have already an answer from Gilgabot. Yes, we do. Okay. We are stepping in Happy Squid's footsteps here, ladies and gentlemen. We have another Berserker. What that means is, we will just keep trucking on with the Berserkers for a little while longer, until we, well, can move on. Also, last time I said, the hammer doesn't have that much of use outside of piercing defense, and I figured I don't have any more use after getting through the Garkimazer enemies, but that's not true. There is now a boss coming up where I do definitely want to have a hammer for more damage output, piercing his defense as well, so that's where it's going to be useful as well. Ninja Mediator Geomancer, right. Mediator is basically the Beastmaster, by the way, or Beast Tamer. Really depends on the translation you're looking at. Are the classes randomly given to you? Which ones I can use is randomly decided by a bot, so to speak. But which ones I can use for... or which ones I get from the crystal is always predetermined by the game. As in, it's always the same jobs. Biblos takes forever with no damage in magic. Yeah. But on the bright side, you can heal. So I saved here before walking over those sand patches. So in case I got an encounter, I would. And I get demolished by one of those Dorm Chimeras. Well, I would at least be able to move on afterwards. You don't need to use Ranger, or are you confusing something? I don't have access to the Ranger class yet. Ranger is technically a fire crystal shop, but you don't get it until after the library. You will need to be able to use the boat in order to get to Crescent Island, and that's where you get the remaining 2 fire crystals, since the Black Chocobo actually managed to eat them for some reason. Is 4th job self-enforced, or does the game handle it for you? It's self-enforced in this case, Takada. Because the game itself is not modified, aside from having an English fan translation. Alrighty, in this case I'm going to level up to level 21, I think? I think 21 was the goal level here. Let me actually check that real quick. Yes, 21 is what I want to get. At 21, Ferris gains an additional attack modifier. In fact, actually, here's the thing. If Lena dies, I am completely okay with that. Because she would not deal more damage than on her current level anyways. In fact, let me actually do this. Let me do this. Equip, Lena, unequip. So, Lena now has only her weapon equipped. So that means if she gets attacked, she dies way easier than on my other characters. Regen with Time Mage is sorta healing? It is sort of healing, yeah. So it's not as useful. So I'm going over here into the desert to level up a little bit. The enemies here are a bit stronger, but not too bad. Also, I'm just holding down, and eventually I will get into an encounter. Sand killers. The downside about sand killers is they have a reasonably high likelihood of actually just running away, which is less than ideal. But it looks like we kill them almost no matter what first turn. 150 experience. So that's a bit more than what we get in other encounters. That's good. Bye bye, Sandkiller. Now we only have those porky enemies left. I have no idea how they decide on that thing. The downside of those porky enemies is they can poison us, so we will need to remove the poison if that happens. So, that guy ran away, we still get 130 experience, so that's actually pretty valuable for a single combat here. So when does the Seeker of Mana sand ship show up? Usually around 3 PM. And greetings to you, Newster. Thank you for the glue. How are you doing? Where is my ranger? My ranger is currently on the Crescent Island. We cannot go there yet. The job unlocks once you arrive on Crescent Island. Yes, this is Chaos Mode, where we can get shops, which we don't have access to yet. Oh, don't heal her. So we will need to defeat the next boss. The next 2 bosses, actually, with 4 Berserkers. Can you imagine bears in the desert? The bears are really awesome if you can catch them and release them against enemies. They are ridiculously powerful. Like, ridiculously powerful. Crazy, crazy strong. You distributed the damage so perfectly that nothing died. I am some form of impressed. Cousin from the desert. Hey, Metal Bear, how are you doing? Yeah, until Crescent Island isn't too bad. After Crescent Island would be really ugly. Because then you would need to level up for the Sandworm to about level 38 or so in order to have a reasonable shot at killing it. That would take a long while, I tell you that much. I've done that before. What level are we? 19. We're almost 20. Once again, Lena being dead is intentional. The other characters now gain more experience. And her gaining levels doesn't increase her damage. So might as well just keep her at level 19. You're good, glad to hear that. I see. I'm going to you, Sithy. How's it going? Sandberg Quadsog is doing about 40, yes. On my PlayStation version run, I actually leveled up, I think, to level 42. I do not recommend PlayStation version. Actually ended up doing something that I don't usually do and started grinding offline, so it wouldn't be quite as boring. So, one more level for everybody. And hey, Lila Patrol. It's going quite well. How are you doing? Thank you for the good luck. You're done with Forge of Fiesta. Good chemist again, like every year. Wow. Oh. Chemist is nice if you want to have an easy ride. I guess. Maybe it's a bit of a time investment though for the chemist to be worthwhile. Which is, by the way, the main reason why I don't like chemist for the most part. It's just... I don't want to go and gather all the ingredients. But if I don't do it, it's just very inefficient. You got White Mage Berserker so far. If you get a Beastmaster and a Dragoon afterwards, you basically have the run team. You're doing good. Glad to hear that. Sounds awesome. But White Mage and Berserker, you have basically both ends covered. You have physical damage and you have support magic. Now you just need a good mage and you can pretty much sail through the game, really. Although Berserker is probably on the weaker end of characters for physical damage. Even though it has the highest strength, it's just so slow. Mystic Knight. You're doing good? Glad to hear that, Lila. Mystic Knight so far. Oh, Mystic Knight is one of the most powerful ones as an individual character, so that's a good choice. I actually prefer Mystic Knight by far over Chemist. So, by the way, me just going down counts as taking a step for an encounter, but me also getting slit up counts as a step for an encounter, so I'm actually getting into encounters quicker, running into the sand over and over again instead of running back and forth. So that's nice. Breakblade for days. Yeah, Breakblade, if you know where to use it, just... pun not intended. Breaks the game. Also, Drain Sword is one of my favorites of the Mystic Knight. I also really like the Poison Sword to inflict poison on enemies susceptible to it, and then you just wait until they die. Mystic Knights have some of the best agility in the game. Aside from the Ninja and Thief, they are just kind of really high up in the agility value as well. Poison Bioblade for a win. Yeah, I actually really like those. Against Biblos, you just Poison Blade him and then you start defending. He actually heals, I think, or you don't hit. One or the other, but he still gets affected by the poison. Spore, speaking of poison. We haven't gotten poison so far, but now that we're talking about it, of course they have to demonstrate, oh yeah, poison, we can do that. That's okay. That's why we bought some antidotes. How much more, guys? 2,370. So that's about... After 10 more battles I'm going to start moving towards the other side. To the library. And we should probably gain the last level just on the way inside. Oh, that almost kills him in one turn. If Lena were alive, we would actually kill the Sand Bear in one turn. The game just wants you to know that it is boss. Yep, apparently so. You come back second Berserker, yep. We do now have at least 2 Berserkers in our team at all times. Which also means, in order for us to level up a Ranger, this will take a while. So do you get a random selection of jobs when you get a crystal? Yes, that's the challenge of the 4th of Fiesta. We do get 1 job randomly assigned to us once we reach the next crystal. Hey, good choices of attacks, guys. As in, I don't get to select the job I get, I just get it assigned, so to speak. You guys really don't like hitting that weird plant thing at all, do you? Ha, good dodge. Boom, we're done. More antidotes, more potions. How many potions do we have left? 29, oh. Okay, I think instead of healing next time, I'm just going to go outside and use a tent. Because we will need the potions probably in... just before the bosses. Oh, how do you unlock Ranger? Basically, that's just by plot. Once you advance a certain point into the plot, you unlock the Ranger. The Ranger is going to get unlocked once we defeat the 2 bosses in the library. The steamship gets repaired and we gain access to sailing the ship around the world into Crescent Island, where we will lose the ship but gain access to the Black Jacobo that allows us to fly around the world instead of using a ship, which is way more convenient, by the way. So that is essentially where that happens. Also, I think 4 out of 6 Sand Bear encounters were back attacks so far. Those are some sneaky bears. I mean, as long as the bears don't bear hug us, it doesn't really matter. Since they deal half the damage and we deal half the damage, it just takes a bit longer. But if they use a bear hug, that introduces the slip status. So we would basically lose an additional 100 HP over time. Who knew covering a bear in sand makes them sneaky? Apparently so. Okay. This sand bear was not so sneaky. But our moth is getting really low. It's actually interesting that the bears just give antidotes. Oh. By the way, fun fact, Fairies will gain a huge jump in damage once she hits level 21, as opposed to the other 2, who will just gain a little jump. The reason for that is because she also hits the additional agility modifier on top of reaching the attack modifier from the strength. Just by being level 21 and having the AF cape equipped to be more specific. Rerolled Chemist. Oh boy. By the way, in case anyone is wondering, I usually do one narrated playthrough of Final Fantasy V each year this time around. This time around it's going to be one more encounter, then we go outside. I guess we're going outside now. This time it's going to be on the Game Boy Advance version. Last year it was the PlayStation version that I ended up narrating. The year before that it was the SNES version. Now we are going to be doing this on the Game Boy Advance version. Unfortunately, I don't think I ever highlighted the other 4-drop Fiestas, so there's no way to go back and see those. Yeah, Galuf got just really cool. Yeah, sunglasses now. Also, I don't think silencing my Berserker is going to do much. Sure, they are doing quite the battle cry whenever they attack. But I don't think that does too much for you to silence that. Silly question, but different jobs affect status growth, right? Not quite. Status does not actually grow in this game. Status thing is, they are literally just there for jobs. The specific jobs have specific amounts of status points, so to speak. For example, a Berserker has only 15 agility. A Beastmaster has 25 agility as a baseline. Then they get small bonuses from depending on which characters those are. For example, Butts gets +4 to strength. Ferrisk and Galuf gain +3 to strength, and Lena only gains +1 to strength as an inherent character attribute. But the jobs, their statuses, they don't grow by themselves at all outside of the Freelancer class. The Freelancer class actually does end up growing, I guess, based on how many jobs you have mastered. Everybody's now level 20, which is really bad if I want to go into the library for level 20. I do definitely want to gain one more level before we go inside. Also, I just realized I probably want to equip Lena now. That sounds like a reasonable idea. Also, you do not gain the hammer yet. You will gain the hammer later. Doesn't the Freelancer just take the highest stat for each master class and apply it to the Freelancer? I think it does. Which means if you want the highest strength, Master Berserker. If you want... I think also that's the highest vitality, if I'm not mistaken. No, the monk has actually slightly higher vitality, so for vitality you want to master the monk, for speed you want to master the thief, or... Wait, that's it, isn't it? Did I miss something? I probably missed... Oh yeah, magic stats. There's mages in the game. For magic you want to master the summoner. Those are the respectively highest stats, I believe. Is there more stats that I'm forgetting? No, that's it. That's pretty much it. Attack power is defined by the weapon you equip. By the way, the reason why I don't want to go into the library quite yet with the levels we have is there are enemies in the library that use a spell called level 5 Doom. What level 5 Doom means is basically it hits every character who has a level divisible by 5. So, level 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, etc. Those characters automatically get hit. It doesn't need to check any check whether it hits or not. They will automatically get hit by level 5 Doom. No questions asked, they just get hit. As long as that level is divisible by 5. And that would mean Doom is an instant death. We really don't want to instantly die. There's a chance we would just avoid those encounters entirely, or our Berserkers destroy the monster before it casts a level 5 Doom. But the chance for it is that one enemy casting level 5 Doom wipes out our entire party right now, since everybody is level 20. Lena is a low level 20, but everybody else is just on the verge of gaining a level here. Oh, okay. Speaking of on the verge of gaining a level, here we go. Level 21, 3 times. And also, Ferris now equips the training suit, gets +1 strength, as you may be able to tell. We have a bit less defense, 4 less defense, but +1 strength, and also less equipment weight, which is actually pretty nice. In fact, I'm going to give her the plume tat as well. No, actually it doesn't matter. Every 8 equipment weight, you are slightly slower. Basically, every 8 equipment weight means you have 1 less agility. You also... Actually, it doesn't matter whether she gains the training suit or not. I might as well equip her with the best defense we get. You also get the training suit, because for Lena, unfortunately, she does not gain the additional modifier here. Well, for him, it makes a difference whether we equip that or the other thing. Okay, let's go. And greetings, Rex. I have no idea how to pronounce that. Rex 9900. You're new to Final Fantasy V speedruns, so you've mainly seen you and Ryu do Diablo 2. Could you give us a quick crash course and guide to Final Fantasy V? Sure. Final Fantasy V is a JRPG, which means you just get into an encounters at more or less random times, which, by the way, for a actual speedrun setting, not just a 4-chop Fiesta challenge, you usually know exactly when those encounters will happen and which enemies are going to be in the encounter, because everything is basically deterministic from that point on. However, for our purposes, for the speedrun, you basically just choose the job which you want to use. What that means is there are a total of 22 jobs in the game, and they unlock little by little once you reach the certain points in the story, so to speak. And goodbye, Lena. That was level 5 Doom, by the way. So once you reach a certain point in the story, the jobs unlock, and you can freely switch any time between the characters for any job you want. You can just literally assign them, and they can use the full power of their abilities, more or less. And there's an additional catch to that. So, for the Berserker, you can see it is 116 out of 400. That is how much ability points I have for the Berserker job. And if I essentially master that Berserker job, I will gain... If I master that Berserker job, I will gain essentially more abilities from the Berserker itself. Sometimes it's abilities that the Berserker itself already has, like being able to equip Axes or being berserked. Sometimes it is abilities that you don't otherwise have, like for example, if you completely master the White Mage, you gain an ability to increase your maximum magic points by 10%. Or for the Monk, you can increase your maximum HP by 10%, 20%, 30%, depending on how far you've mastered the job. So, for the speedrun, in a regular setting, you would go ahead and try to optimize it so that you need to level as little as possible and gain as few points for your entire thing as possible in order to be able to get through the entirety of the game. I believe the speedrun ordinarily is about level 8 or 9 when you get through the game. To give you a frame of reference, a regular casual playthrough is at the end of the game about at level 42 or so. In this case here, this is not actually a speedrun, this is a challenge run that is called the 4-job Fiesta. I get randomly assigned 4 different jobs that I will have to stick to, and I cannot divulge from them. I currently have acquired Ranger, which I don't have access to the Ranger job yet. So I will have to stick with the other classes that I've got, and I only got Berserker so far. Berserker is a class that I cannot control myself. They just do whatever in battle, and I'm just waiting and hoping that they win. That's pretty much it, really. And that's the Berserker for you. We just attack, or we just engage in combat and wait. This was a boss here called Ifrit. He's normally kind of strong, but in order for me to even have a reasonable shot at defeating the next boss, I decided to level up to level 21, so I would deal a good chunk more damage and just be able to survive, really. So having 2 Berserker for the 4-job Fiesta means I need at all times at least have 2 Berserkers in my party, and at least 1 Ranger once that job is unlocked. So that is the entire idea here. So yeah, as I said, this is not a regular speedrun. The speedrun for this game normally is more in the vein of just manipulating a lot of things, although in combat you are at the mercy of randomness, since you can't really control what happens in combat properly. Also, this guy might cast level 5 Doom again. Okay, he didn't, that's nice. Nothing but Berserkers indeed. So yeah, Berserkers... Oh, wrong place. Berserkers have an advantage of being able to dish out a ton of damage if they attack and hit the right target. The targeting is random as well, which by the way, on the Steam and iOS version, their targeting is in fact not randomized. Also, I remember this page here being scary for some reason, I don't remember why. Essentially we just beat up a book and it changes pages once in a while. I have no idea how it exactly works. Aside from that, the book essentially consists of an encounter consists of a set amount of pages that we will want to defeat in order to progress. And that's the entire gist of it, really. Japanese. The original version of Final Fantasy V is not available in English, so this is a fan translation for a Super Nintendo. There is, however, an English release for the Game Boy Advance, which is essentially the same game. Also, I think I just missed the chest over there somehow. That's okay. Page 64 is almost always after page 32, and if you're lucky, then that's the entire encounter. The enemies in here don't give a whole lot of experience, so I'd rather avoid those encounters, but if you have 4 Berserkers on the Super Nintendo version, you cannot run away. Every other version you can run away with 4 Berserkers. So I just have to wait until we crack them. Oh, I meant more so the weirdness of fighting a book can be boiled down to Japanese. Maybe. I guess there is a lot of Japanese things in there. Also, I forgot to switch my weapons. Whoopsie. That's okay, let's see how far we get. 528 damage is pretty good. This guy has 3600 HP. And he uses armor as a counterattack. Which means whenever we hit him, he has a chance to cast armor on himself, reducing damage he takes by half. Physical damage, that is. So, unfortunately, only Ferris is able to now deal enough damage to get through his drain. Let me explain how this guy works here. So, Biblos, after he drops below 800 HP, remaining that is, he will start using a spell called Drain. Drain, well, takes HP away from us and gives it over to Biblos, so that's actually really bad for us, as you might be able to imagine. Since if the Drain spell is strong enough, he will end up healing more than we can deal damage. I believe Ferris is the only character who actually deals enough damage to get through his Drain spell. There it is. We have a chance to avoid it by him either not casting it as a counterattack or by just having enough magic evasion so he doesn't hit it. So we still have a chance of actually winning here, but the chance is kind of not that good. So yeah, you can see he just heals more than we deal damage. That's why I needed to switch the weapons. So in order to beat this guy, I need to get lucky. There's not really much of another way. But I can basically improve my odds by using a weapon that has a defense penetrating thing to it, on top of also equipping some armor that increases our magic defense, so Drain is not going to hit as often and not as hard. So optimally, Ferris, Galuf and Moth would actually die here, and no, Lena, Galuf and Moth would actually die, and only Ferris would survive since she deals enough damage. We still have a chance to win here. As I said, he is below 800 HP. If we're lucky, he just doesn't counterattack at all in the first place. Ouch, don't hit Drain, don't Ferris, please. That's okay. Lena would deal the least amount of damage anyways, so he would heal the most from it. Also, Ferris is not dealing that much more damage, that doesn't exactly help. Okay, it's a one-on-one, but Ferris has too low HP. She will most likely just die from it. Unless she gets stupid lucky. Goodbye, Ferris. Thanks for the effort. Alrighty. This time I'm not going to forget to actually equip the correct equipment here. So the correct equipment is, once again, plumed hats for increased magic defense, training suits for increased strength, and also in this case, mithril hammers for a bit more attack power, but also defense penetrating ability, so to speak. So, alrighty. Let's go. Just need to get a little bit lucky. Not too much though. Greetings, Magic Freak. How are you doing? We just basically need to hit a high range of hammer attacks there. Ferris keeps the Guardian Dagger because that is consistent damage output. And just strong enough to get through, essentially. Also, hammers are highly variable in how much damage they deal, and also whether they hit or not. Charm would actually confuse our characters, but that is one of the few advantages of a Berserker. They cannot get confused. Do I understand how 5th chop works? Yes. Once Galuf, plot-wise, is removed from your party, and Kara joins, you will get a new job instead of Galuf's Earth job. And you will no longer have access to any of the abilities from Galuf's job, only from Kara's job. So don't invest too much into Galuf in that case. Yes, Faris still has a sword, as I said. She deals just enough damage for it to be relevant. Also, this guy can use Wind Slash. Last fight he didn't use it at all, which is actually really lucky. Maybe I need to level up a little bit more. Not sure. As long as you don't hit fairies with that, I'm fine. Slow and haste, for that matter, are incredibly powerful in this game. Alrighty. We need now a bit of luck with the hammer damage rolls, and also him not always using Drain. So we will be able to punch through his defense. I could actually use a calculator to see how much damage we deal approximately. He has about 600 HP right now. Minus 95, minus 235. Oh, wow, we beat him! Ha! Nice. He basically decided to not use Strain often enough that we did just enough damage. And so Biblos is defeated. Hooray! Finally. Soon, we will have at least 2 characters in combat that we will be able to control. Hip hip hooray! Dun dun dun. Huzzah! Uh-oh. Oh no. One more combat. I wonder whether it's possible for that thing to wipe us out. Maybe. Well, Lena might die. As I said, I think that thing is scary for some reason. I don't know why. It might be able to use an attack that kills someone instantly that is not level based. I don't remember what it does exactly though. Okay. Page 256. Let's see. Interesting. So it turns out the page 256, what I remembered of him being scary, is actually not so scary for us, because what he uses as an ability is called a Moon Flute. Moon Flute berserks your party. We already are berserked, it doesn't change anything. Someone was saying that the new job from 5th can't be used on the other 3. No. It's that you lose access to the current Earth job and you gain access to a new Earth job. That's it. You can also read on it on Fiesta.com on how exactly it works. So yeah, we managed to get through here. Hip hip hooray. Let's just advance the plot far enough that we finally get a ranger in our party. Let me actually look up the ranger. Also, I love this music, it's so good. It's one of my favorite tracks in the entire game. Final Fantasy 5 Ranger? I don't know whether that's the official name. I think it is actually. Looks like it. Alrighty, okay, Ranger abilities. Level 1 abilities, animals. Gain the aid of woodland friends. Let's any chop use the animals command. Animals is an interesting command because it has pretty random effects. Some is healing, some is a bit of damage. Yeah, interesting to say the least. Level 2 abilities, aim. Aim is what the ranger has as an innate ability. And aim is essentially an attack that always hits, no matter what. Which can be extremely good. But unfortunately berserkers are not able to use aim. Then for level 3 ability on ranger is equip bow. So we can equip bows on our berserkers. Sounds fantastic, doesn't it? Actually it's a lot better than it sounds. Mainly because... Also Mr. Knives, okay please. The reason why being able to equip bows is a lot better than it initially sounds is... Bows are not bad weapons. One of the biggest pluses is you can hit from the back row. But kind of like axes and hammers, they have only a kind of a weak chance to hit. So it's not all that good, like a 70% chance. So that means 30% chance to miss, which that's a lot of chance to miss really. So that's kind of a big downside, honestly. But on the plus side, bows this early on have various elemental attributes, so we will be able to take advantage of elemental weaknesses of enemies. Also, rangers, because they have the innate aim command, it doesn't matter that they have a chance to miss. The bows will just always hit for the ranger anyways. But if we equip a bow and a berserker, it has a good chance to miss. However, here's the catch. Wow, 2 attacks for a zoo. Here's the catch. We do not just gain the ability to equip bows on the berserker, but the berserkers also gain the stats from the ranger. More specifically, they gain the ability to attack a lot faster thanks to having increased agility. To give you a frame of reference, the berserker has 15 agility. That's insanely slow. Like, we are going way slower than the enemies in combat, even in regular encounters. With any other chop class that just doesn't happen. But thanks to having increased agility, we would be able to just go that much faster, and Ranger is one of the better ones to increase your agility with, so that helps you tremendously. Hey TM Siler, how are you doing? Why so sad? Isn't it like 5 AM my time? Actually no, currently it is pretty much the middle of the day for me right now. Because I am currently sitting in Japan, which is also why my streaming times are pretty much throughout the night for Europe. Local time. Let's see. Yes, it is actually almost 1 PM for me. Just tired, okay. I hope it's the good kind of tired, and also hope you can rest sometime soon. Good morning to you. You're right, That emote does look definitely quite tired. Oh! Oh! Chaz, if you're still around. I just remembered my favorite NPCs in the game. Mid and Sid, the crazy scientists. Also, let's play the piano, because why not? Almost all of my followers streamers are playing Final Fantasy V right now. Yeah. 4-Job Fiesta is just a ton of fun. It's really awesome to play. So I understand that. Oh, by the way, apparently there's a new vendor now. Hi! I never knew you existed. I had no clue this guy existed even as a vendor. I did not know you could buy whips. This just boggles my mind. It's mind-blowing to me that you can actually buy whips here. I did not know that. That would have been useful to know. Let me actually sell my mithril gloves because they're just in the way. I keep everything else. I guess I can sell those too. So, let me actually check who and how much that was. Give me a second. Thank you very much too. Oh my god. Woodstock, thank you. Thank you so much, Woodstock, for another huge donation. You're amazing and crazy. Thank you so much, Woodstock. I hope you're doing well, sir. Thank you so much. You're curious if it's even possible to beat the Twin Towers with my team. Yes, because we have one character we can control, we can beat the Twin Towers. That's all we need. We just need to grind for a Reflect Ring, and there we go. We can beat the Twin Towers. It does definitely help. Thank you so much, Woodstock. And my pleasure. I'm glad you enjoyed that. You're grinding statues in Gallows' basement while watching. I see. Yeah, those statues are really good to grind on. Especially if I have a blue mage with level 5 Doom. Those things just die pretty much instantly. I think ninjas with throwing scrolls are also really good. So, how you beat the Twin Tower with this team is you have one character you can control, put a reflect on it, ring on it, and then you just wait against Omniscient. Eventually, Omniscient will fall into an AI loop, where he will always take the same actions. He will cast Reflect on himself, then he tries to cast Cure on himself, then cures you instead. Then he casts a weak-ish spell on you, reflected back to deals a bit of damage to him. Then he casts a level 2 spell on you, reflected back, and then he does something else I don't remember, and then he repeats that entire cycle forever, until he is defeated, essentially. At least that happens with Battle Speed 6. I'm not sure about Battle Speed 1, actually. You'll foresee me with a Berserker. I have a ranger, I'm okay, it will be fine. Ranger is going to be my support Berserker, I guess. So, soon we will be able to sail the ship to wherever we want. And where we want it to be is pretty straightforward, really. We want it to be in the Crescent Island, first of all. By the way, I really like that those sleeping bubbles. They are solid, you cannot walk through them. Hey, mid! We need to wake up, Sid. You don't know how you managed to get past the dark crystals with 1 time mage and 3 circs. Haha, you get lucky, I guess. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much the way you do that. You get lucky. You farm 3 death sickles. Speaking of which, I will have the opportunity to farm some death sickles now. Has some hard sleeping, yeah. Yeah, we have a boat, guys. I have a boat. I can sail around everywhere I want, and also there are encounters. So, fun fact about those anemones, they are named TH anemone. It's actually Thunder anemone. If you defeat them, they drop a Thunder Scroll. Or 2. Which, that's a throwing weapon for the ninja. Deals thunder damage to all enemies, or lightning damage to all enemies. It's really good, actually. But you can also buy those scrolls for relatively cheap, so it's not that efficient to farm them. Might as well buy them. But still, because we have Berserkers, we cannot yet actually escape from encounters. Oh boy, that could take a while. The sea avies have like 10 HP or so. But they have really high innate evasion. Oh wow, Galloth and Ferris both hit one. That's pretty good. I think we are getting lucky here. 2 of the crystals died to death procs, and 1 did not get the chance to do anything since it had float, though I lucky picked it up the fire shield. Oh, I see. Yeah, that works. I'm actually strongly considering picking up the fire shield just for that, or I might actually go ahead and buy flame rings. That might actually be the better choice, to use buy a flame ring instead. Win. Potion. Yay. I guess it's not terrible. Only 50 HP though. Also, it feels like the PlayStation SNES version has way higher rate of encounter for sea battles than the Game Boy Advance version. I love how this guy just freaks out before the earthquake even happens. It's just kind of he smelled it or something like that. I don't even know. Ranger time, yes indeed. Finally we get something useful. Berserker is not useless, but Ranger is just better. Ranger has one of the craziest abilities for end level. That is, I think, called X-Fight in most translations, which allows us to hit enemies 4 times for 50% damage, so a total of 200% damage, but it ignores defense and always hits. It's also randomly targeting, so could be slightly better, but it's really good already. I'm actually going to probably farm at least 3 death sickles before I move on. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and get the Ranger chop before I do anything else, because I don't even know what they can equip for in terms of armor. Obviously I know what they can equip for weapons. Let's see. Also, in the speedrun or in the opening race run, I did not have enough time to appreciate this song. Now I can just listen to it a bit. Whack! Fun fact, if Butts is dead, he will actually be the single character in the party during this brief moment there. But being dead, which is kind of strange. You're going to have 2 rangers until Earth Crystal? Yes. That's the plan. Because rangers are just overall more efficient. We gain Bard and Hunter. So. We finally have the ability to put something else aside from Berserkers in our party. We will do that pretty much immediately. Also, now we have a flying companion that can land in wood areas, forest areas. Okay, first order of operation. You are now becoming a hunter, or... This is also where you get the bard, by the way. And didn't you get the dancer here too? I guess it's only those. Dancer seems to be Earth job. I always confuse that with bard. So, we could equip Berserk. No, let's not do that. I would like to not have Berserk on those characters. So, we are going to turn you and... who else into hunters? Let's make Lena into a hunter. Her damage output is the lowest out of any character anyway, so... make her useful by always hitting instead. No, we don't Berserk. Okay. Actually, we may want to equip stuff for now. Okay. Actually managed to get through here. Yay! Improve the piano skills. Just in case we get a bard, I'm also going to ask this guy to teach me a new song. Learn the live song. Gradually increases your life during battle, which basically is just casting regen on everybody in your party, which is really nice. Regen is not all that strong, but being able to cast it on everybody with just a single spell cast is really good. Okay, we are getting some armor and weapons for our rangers here. Let's see what we are going to get. So, we can buy a firebow. We will... ice bow and a thunderbow. I think we are going to buy 2 of each for now. I'm not sure I'm going to learn equip bows anytime soon, but... you now have a firebow. You don't have a health cape. Training suit is better, so you deal more damage, and the green beret also pretty nice. So they can now go into the back row because they deal the same damage from back and front row. That's that. We have equipped our rangers. So, because we also have that equipped, that means the Guardian Dagger can go onto one of the other guys now, and you, I don't want to have you the Mithril Dagger, thank you very much, because that would be just silly. And the Mithril Sword. So, next up would be Sandworm. Sandworm could be really awkward. I might actually decide to kill off 2 Berserkers. Before we engage Sandworm, because I think with 2 Berserkers in a party trying to defeat Sandworm is going to be a little bit ridiculous. Let me explain. The next boss upcoming. Also, I'm going to grind here a little bit just for some death sickles, trying to get some good weapons for our Berserkers. Let me explain what that means. So here, those black flames are actually interesting. They have really high evasion, but because we have aim, we always hit them. Dark Shot reduces our level by half, which is unfortunate. So, either way. Sandworm is a boss which basically is just kind of a worm poking his head out of one of 3 holes. At least that's how the battle screen looks like. How it looks for the Berserker is that there are 5 holes and 1 Sandworm head. Because of how the game is coded. That's literally the reason, actually. So what that means is essentially that, unfortunately for us, Berserkers have a 5 in 6 chance to miss the Sandworm. So if it was just missing and not hitting the Sandworm, that would be okay. But if you attack the not Sandworm, so to speak, you are getting attacked, or counter-attacked more specifically, by a spell called Demi, which halves your HP. Which is really, really, really bad for us, as you might be able to imagine. So, and we are just kind of fighting the battles here. The battles here are pretty nice because they have those guys with black flames in it, which give pretty good experience since, as I said, they are kind of difficult to hit, normally. But we have rangers, so we can take advantage of that. So yeah, getting your HP halved every time the Berserkers attack is a really bad deal for us. We probably could beat them. What did I just pick up? I think that was a speed drink, if I'm not mistaken. Most likely a speed drink. Oh no, we did get a death sickle already. Wow. Alright, you can see the attack power rises by 20. That's crazy, I tell you. The unfortunate portion is, it's kind of like an axe. It has about, I think, a 20% chance to miss. Let me actually look that up real quick. Also, our rangers are now in the front row because they decided to back attack us. Oh, there's a Doom proc. 1 in 3 times when the Death Sickle hits, or Doom Sickle, it will just instantly kill an enemy if they are susceptible to it, and actually also hits the Doom. Like, it's a 1 in 3 chance to hit Doom, or to proc Doom, but then it also needs to go through the check on whether it actually hits. Wow! So, that weapon is really good. Especially for this point in the game. Nice going indeed. Hey Mercury Frog, thank you for the host. And how are you doing? How's it going? Actually, what did I want to look up? Doom X. Here we go, Doom X. Hit chance is 85%, so it's actually a bit better than I expected it to be. So only 15% chance to miss with the Doom signal. It also, like all axes, has a crazy variance in how much damage it can deal, but it's really good. Unfortunately, those battles here only give us one ability point at a time. So here are bio soldiers in this combat. We want to kill those guys first, because if they are the last enemies remaining, they will AoE cast bio on every one of us. So that is actually really unhealthy. I'm doing quite well, thank you. I don't want to know how you're doing. Oh, I see. Well, hope the next day is going to be better, Mercury Frog. Wish you all the best. And well, I hope you can now sit back, relax, and just, well, rest for a while. Welcome home. So I might actually just grind here until I get enough money to buy a flame ring. So there are really expensive accessories that you can already buy in the first world here. Those accessories are a flame ring, a angel ring, and a coral ring. Flame ring absorbs fire type damage and nullifies ice type damage. So it's really good. Coral ring absorbs water type damage, but there's actually no water type damage until way later. In fact, there's only one move called Tidal Wave that even inflicts water type damage. Everything else does just neutral type damage. Even if it's called like Aqua Rake, Aqua Rake still deals neutral type damage. Again. Hey, another name bites the dust. Hope you're doing well. How's it going? Something just broke. Oh, I'm sorry. I actually didn't start the bot yet, so probably should do that. Oh, hang on. Alright, the bot is started now. Thank you. Appreciate that. Sorry, that doesn't work. So, let's see, how much more until we gain one more level? Ah, just one more battle, okay. We gain a level on everybody, then we probably just try to move on. We already got one new max, that is really good. We absolutely, most definitely want to get a second one. But I feel like, if we have the opportunity, we want to spread out the grinding across multiple sessions, instead of just grinding all the way in one go. We might get lucky and just get another Doomax here. But getting a Doomax drop is a 1 in 16 chance for every one of those Harvester enemies you defeat. So getting it that quickly was actually really lucky. Although not too unlikely. Oh my god, we got another one. And we need to actually fight some more battles to gain a few more levels here. Doom and Death are two different things. I guess so. Actually, this is Death. Doom is setting a counter over your head, I believe. And after the counter runs down, you're dead. Alrighty. Wait, we don't need to use a 10, that's silly. How much money do we have? 35,000, okay. That's fine. Wow, that timing of the Jagabot though. No flame required. We have a flame bow for that. No, it's just kind of pointing out the little differences. I like those little nuances, even if it's a bit confusing at times, because you just kind of say, oh, Death and Doom is pretty much the same thing, right? Well, in this game, not quite. Because one is a counter over your head, one is an instant death proc. For a solo character challenge, both of them are usually just kind of certain death, but most of the time it's quite fine. Oh, need to go over. Briefly take the Chocobo to be a bit closer over here. Hey, we can actually run from battles now. I almost forgot about that. So, and upcoming we do have the Sandworm counter. As I said, could be really ugly for us. Let's see how it's going to go with the two Berserkers. Two Berserkers have a 1 in 6 chance to hit the correct target. Let's see how they will do. By the way, I'm just going to use whatever bow we have equipped, because there's no water type bow or anything like that, so we don't have any element that is beneficial against the Sandworm. He doesn't take more damage from anything but Aqua Rake. I'm ready, let's go. I like how quick the Sandworm appears to be here. Also, by the way, Berserkers are weird. This is the one battle where they go before any of my regular characters. And he missed. And it hit Lena, that's bad for us. And he missed as well. And it hit Lena, that's bad for us. Boom. Alrighty, 2 good hits. Quicksand. Oh, that's the worst case scenario right now. Quicksand introduces slip status onto our characters, which means we need to heal Lena here, and we need to use one of the high potions for her. The Berserker's died of mind. Oh, that's bad. Getting a death proc here actually makes the hole counter twice instead of just once. Oh shoot. He just switched places. And we missed because of it. I need to be careful about that because this is active time battle. Wrong hit. Hit the Berserkers, kill the Berserkers, I'm okay with that. No, I'll probably need to heal Ferris. Oh, he hit actually! He hit! By the way, fun fact. Sandworm is always considered to be in the back row, so with even melee damage will always be significantly reduced. Alrighty. Attack! No, he switched just as I attacked. That is super rude. But the Berserker got hit, so I'm okay with this. I'm going to use another high potion here on Ferris. Okay, he just switched, so we should be able to hit him, right? Okay, I'm going to wait next time until he switches and then attack. This is actually really silly. Okay, I'm going to wait. He just quicksanded, so we should be able to hit him, right? This guy only has 3000 HP, by the way, so we should kill him within reasonable time. Unless he kills us first. I'm going to use an elixir here on Lena. Really? Wow! No, don't kill Lena, I still need her. Well, Ferris in this case. Wow. He's really not nice about how dodgy he is. But I think this is how the battle was intended to be. That's actually really crazy. And I like it. Hey Koface, how are you doing? Greetings to you, sir. You had to use Quicksand just as a revive Ferris. Ow, another Quicksand, really? This guy is ridiculously fast. Another one. You're good? Glad to hear that. That sounds good. I'm doing quite well, but Ferris is not, unfortunately. This guy is not playing nice to us. Class is done next week. Hey, hooray! That sounds awesome. Glad to hear you're doing good. Not a quicksand. Oh god. Boss battle speed and active is really brutal actually. Switch. Gotcha. Okay, he's defeated. Wow. That was much more of a battle than I've ever had before, honestly. You got a Beastmaster. You have no idea how to use that. Ah, there's probably a spreadsheet somewhere which tells you what you can use, how, so to speak. Okay, we defeated the Sandworm. That was quite a task, honestly. Be careful. I will be careful. Also, we got a new ability. Animals. We will now be able to use animals in combat, which it has random effects that I don't actually know myself, to be honest. So, well, let's see how that's going to go down. You're going to watch my hunt from the start. There's a lot more you can do than what I just did with the run, so to speak. If you just want to invest a bit more time for making it a bit easier, in various instances you can just do that. Especially if you have multiple times the catch and release ability. Okay, we managed to defeat the Sandworm. Hooray! Animals. Bee Swarm! Bee Swarm is basically a physical AoE that hits the enemies in the front row harder than the back row. Mesidian Rabbit didn't do anything. Wait, what? I actually have no idea how animals work. Hang on. Animals. What? Monsters distracted? What was that? Wait, what did they just do? Actually looked away briefly. Oh, poor bear. He gets doomed. Or dead. Whatever. He's dead. Bee Swarm! Squirrel! Let me actually read up what animals exactly does. Squirrels! Yeah! Bee Swarm! Nightingale. Oh wow. That heals us for a good amount actually. Let's actually just use aim again here. Nightingale's really nice. Yeah, let me actually read up on this. So, animals, also called crit, or critters, is a command in Final Fantasy V. It is the level 1 ability of the Ranger and calls a creature to assist their party. The triggered effect is random, but more animals become available as the Ranger levels up. In the below charts, the level column refers to the character's minimum level when it is possible to call for the animal. For the example, the unicorn will never appear unless the character is at level 60. Wait, there's a unicorn in there? What? I had no idea. The animal is to be called is determined by a random number the game generates between 0 and the character's level. If the number is 0, it triggers Mysidian Rabbit. If the number is greater than 0, but less than 5, it triggers the Squirrel. If the number is greater than 5 and less than 10, it triggers the Bee Swarm, and similarly for other level creatures. Meaning at higher levels, the chance of lower level animals is lessened. If the player were to level up all the way to 99, the chance of getting Unicorn would be high, as any random between 60 and 99 would call the Unicorn. I'm not going to read up on what those do, but every 10 levels we do gain another animal. So we currently have access to Nightingale and Flying Squirrel. Nightingales? Nightingale? Yes, it's an I at the end. It is. Alright, let's continue, guys. Oops. Aim. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, right after we get out of the desert here, I'm going to take a short break of, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes, and eat a little bit of something. I think that sounds like a good idea. Time to 99? I don't know whether I'm ever going to reach 60, to be honest. Probably not, actually. Oh, okay. Save real quick, and we take a short break, so, ladies and gentlemen, if you need to do anything like laundry or take a shower, take a bath, now is a good opportunity, so be right back.